Prime Time TV, man. This is officially the debut video. We're gonna do the first video we're gonna do on here is gonna be a daily fantasy tips and tricks. I'm sorry, tips and picks. So we're gonna go ahead and just make a couple of selections, give you guys some tips that I like to do to win money off of this app because it's legit, like I said. And we're gonna go ahead and proceed to look at what players are available and all that early. Now, the reason I decided to do it early, even though I know not a lot of people are going to be on the live, maybe some of you guys will catch it a little bit later, is because there's only so much time you have to submit these picks. That way, they can be eligible for the actual game before it starts. And a lot of games start early on the weekend. So for today, I'm going to be submitting these picks early, but hopefully, in the future, we'll do it a little bit later. That way, more people can join us. Either way, if you guys are watching me live, hello. If you guys aren't watching me live right now, that's fine. I'll catch up with you guys later, and you guys can always ask me questions and leave comments and all that. What's up, Anthony? Good to see you, my boy. Aaron, what's up, brother? You guys ready to dive into this fantasy sports picks? Let's get it. Let's get it right away. Um, so again, new channel, guys. We're gonna have to build up the fan base again, but let's start with giving them some tips on how they can win. So okay, right off the bat, you see the interface here. You got prize picks, you got NBA. You could also play different sports. You could also make your submissions off of one half or even the second half of the game. So there's many ways you can play this app, man. Really, really dope. My boy made $10 yesterday. That's what's up, Aaron. Hey, man, I'm glad you guys are making money because it's super easy. And to me, there's a 50-50 chance. That's the way I see it, right? But anyways, let's hop right on in here. All right. So the first thing I like to look at is always the matchups. Obviously, you got the Sixers going up against the Chicago Bulls, right? That's one option. You got you got the Nets going up against Denver. All right, that game starts at 12:40. So early bet, you guys are gonna see early results. That's my favorite part. You follow along with the games. You got Detroit versus Minnesota. Just a couple games early in the slate on the sheet. Obviously, you got Dallas versus the Hawks. And let me see who else we got here today. Those are the first four games. And you got the Cavs versus Indiana. All good matchups. And then you got Celtics versus Orlando and so on and so forth. Houston versus the Pelicans. Let's not forget that. All right. So the first thing I like to do, guys, personally, is, and obviously, you guys make these picks based on your gut. You can follow along. You can copy my sheet, whatever you want. But if I go down, you guys will go down as well. If I win, you guys will win. Bottom line is, if I make a pick you don't agree with, follow your gut. Don't do the pick. Or if I make a pick you do agree with, then do the same. First thing I like to look at is points, assists, rebounds, assist combination, fantasy score, 3-pointers made, free throws made, all that good stuff, right? My favorite category is fantasy score. And let me tell you guys why real quick. So you hop up in here on the fantasy section. Basically, the way it works, I think points are worth a point each. Rebounds, I think, are worth 1.2 points. Blocks and steals are worth 3 points, and so on and so forth. So when you look at players that accumulate stats like, let's say, a Joel Embiid, right? His fantasy score is 57. If he gets a couple of blocks, a gang of rebounds, and he scores over 20 points, you're going to have a good shot at that. And then, this is my favorite part, and I'll tell you guys right now why. My thing is, you see right here on the screen, you can see the little 4 bars right here. You click on it, and you can see his 5-day history. So versus Dallas, he dropped 62 fantasy score. He went over the mark right here. Versus Washington, he went 58. Barely went over on that one. 58 versus Sacramento. And, versus my Lakers, surprisingly, he went under. So, and then New Orleans, he went 73. So that's a 5-game sample size, right? So if you look at Joel Embiid, you can say that this would be a solid pickup. But if you want to make a safer bet, then, because he's always going to be hovering around the 50s, either over or under, you can always go with a safer pick as well. Tyrese Maxi looks like an excellent pickup, man. Listen, I know he only went over 3 out of the 5 games, but this is a guy that plays heavy minutes. All right. This is a guy that, personally, I will pick up. I don't know how you guys feel. Feel free to make suggestions in the comment section if you guys are live with me. But I'm picking up Tyrese. All right. Now, I like to make 5-player bets. You don't have to do the same. You can do a 2-player bet, right? Obviously, the payout is going to be different. Let's just say I did Tyrese Maxi and Jokic, right? Tyrese over and Jokic over, and I submit. Again, low risk, high reward for me. I put in $5. The top amount I can win is only $10. That's not how I like to play. Kyrie, I'm adding him. I'm going over on my first card. And I'm gonna play several cards, so hang in there with me. Now, as you can see, with 3 picks, if I get these 3 right, 11.25. Let's add another pick. Karl-Anthony Towns, 45 is his fantasy score going up against Detroit. I like my chances. Karl-Anthony Towns plays hard, fills up the stat sheet. I'm going over on that one as well. Now, all of a sudden, you see I got a 4-pick entry, and now you got, $5 turning into 25 potentially. But if you're a high roller and you want to do $15, that can go into 75 for 4 picks that are pretty solid, right? But I'm gonna stay with my 5, man. This is the way I've been winning big bucks. So 5 into 25 if that happens. Now we go Jeremy Grant. Now he failed me last game. Last game he went under, and I know he's been injured, but fantasy score for Jeremy, who is a player that likes to do a little bit of everything, at 30 is not high. Like I said, give me 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 20 points, and he's there. He can do that in his sleep. So again, this is going to be my first card. If you guys want to look at it, go ahead. He said Maxi's assist. We'll look at that category right now. My boy Chapito, what's up, bro? He said for sure Maxi. He plays heavy minutes and he can assist and shoot the ball. Absolutely. He said not Carl. He didn't get it last time against Detroit. Well, you know what, man? Sometimes it'd be like that. They will go under, but you don't have to follow my picks. Like I said, on this particular card, I'm putting in Karl Towns because I feel like 45 for fantasy score is really low. All right, this guy has been, look, he didn't get it last game by 1 point. So I like my chances. Oops, sorry. Went to Kyrie there. So did we lose him? There he is. Whoa, I completely lost him out of the sheet. Okay. Well, anyways, he only didn't get it on 1, I think. Oh, on 2. But look, when he does go over, he goes 54, 64, 58. And Detroit is a fast-paced team. So I think there'll be plenty of stats to go around. Personally, I will pick him up, even though my boy suggested not to. But sometimes you got to follow your gut, right? I might say something. Follow your gut, man. So this is going to be my first entry. So we got Jeremy Grant, 30 fantasy points score over. We got Karl Towns over for me. Kyrie, got to go over, man. Especially they're on the road. We're going to need him to be aggressive. If he could do that, it should go over. Although you could go under because James Harden, on that particular card, James Harden, he tends to handle the rock a lot. So maybe I won't select Kyrie for that reason. Maybe let me remove them. Now, remember, once you submit your picks, you can't edit them. You can't remove them. And if they don't play, your bet will get downgraded to, so you don't really lose anything. But let's see who else. Isaiah Stewart. I'll pick him up because he's a rebounder. Once in a while, he'll get you a couple points, maybe a block. I'll go over the 23. It's a low number. That's going to be my first entry. Predictions have changed since I picked them. That happens sometimes. The numbers fluctuate. I'm still submitting it. So that was my first entry. Now, this next entry, I'm going to take your guys' suggestions, man. What category would you guys like to see us look at? Now, obviously, you got points, assists. Now, sometimes assists are really low. Sometimes, for example, Joel Embiid, 4.5 assists. Now that obviously he's not a guard, but sometimes he gets double teamed. Going up against Chicago, they're a good defensive team. He might get double teamed, kicks it out. He might get 5 assists, but it's still kind of risky. 5 is high. Jeremy Grant, this is one I like in assist, right? Now, obviously, right here you see the middle. He didn't hit the mark, but I don't know, hit or miss with him, I guess. Let's see. I'm looking for a surefire pick I can let you guys have in the assist category. Let's see. Franz Wagner, 2.5. He's been doing good, but barely getting over it. Sometimes that's a little too risky. Any category you guys would like to see me look at? Let me know in the chat right now. Now let's go with let's see. Maybe assist isn't the category for the day. Sometimes it'd be like that. Sometimes it'd be like that. You got to look elsewhere, right? That's fine. Let's go into 3-pointers made. Okay. So you can really make some money off of this. So Trey Young, you mean to tell me he won't get 3-pointers? I'm sorry. I know he failed once, but right here on the you can see versus he had 0 versus Toronto, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. Trey Young hitting 3-pointers, I'm going to over, man. Like if he can hit 3 or more, we win this bet right here, this selection right here. Let's see who else. Karl Towns over 2. Well, to be determined. Let's see. Jason Tatum, can he give me 3 3-pointers? Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic, man. We obviously he had an off game versus Philly, but from beyond the arc. But if you look at Luka, man, he's somebody who likes to shoot a lot of threes. I'll take him. All right. Call me crazy, but I like to bet on the stars. You guys want to look at points? Let's go look at points. Let's go look at points since you guys want to look at points. Let's see. And you can mix up these entries, right? So obviously you can go points, fantasy, whatever. You can even mix sports. So if I wanted to go, and obviously I'm not going to do this, but if I wanted to bet on Matthew Stafford in the middle of these picks, and it won't be solved till next Sunday, but you could if you wanted to, hypothetically speaking. All right, let's go look at points. Who you guys like right here? This kid right here, Ayo, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. He gets a lot of minutes, so that's something to look at right there. Does anybody? Kevin Herter? Kevin Herter did go off the last time I seen him play. Let's see, where is he at? Where is he at? Kevin Herter. That's not a bad suggestion. Is it low? Is it high? There he is. 11.5 points. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna listen to my boy and go Kevin Herter. Let's see if he gets it right. You going over or under though, Aaron? How you feeling about Kevin Herter? I trust your gut. But you going over or under? Let me know. Let me know in the chat, bro. He said 3 points. We'll go to 3 points next. But Kevin Herter, over or under? What y'all got, man? We on points right now, but okay. So Kevin Herter, I'll come back to that selection now. Let's see who else is low. I like to look at the low numbers at times. For example, Clint Capela, 9 points. If Trey Young gets him involved, gets a couple of lobs, a couple of putbacks, he might get that. Who else? Who else has low numbers? Isaiah Stewart, Jared Vanderbilt. Those are players to look at for sure. Obviously, they're projected low because they're not really scoring machines or anything like that. But you got to look at the flow of the game, who they're playing. That's all key to this, right? And obviously, you can just go with your gut check and pick random players. But I really like to. Okay, my boy said over on Kevin Herter. We'll do over on Kevin Herter. I'm also doing over on Luka. Who else we got? All right, y'all want to look at a different category, or y'all sticking with points? Let's see. He said he will have 15 points in 3-0. Okay. All right, let's check out a different category now. Rebounds. We haven't checked out rebounds. Now, DeMar at 5.5. If he gets major minutes, he could hit that. Joel Embiid at 11. We know he's a rebounding beast. You know what? I like Joel Embiid at 11. I'm going over on that. Who else? Who else we picking up? Karl Towns. He's another rebounding machine. I mean, look, 4 out of 5. I like that one, but we'll come back to that one. I might switch it off. I really like Karl Towns getting over that mark right there, simply because 9.5 rebounds versus Detroit, they're going to jack up a lot of shots. There's going to be a lot of bricks. You got to remember, these teams are not really good, like high percentage field goal shooting teams. So you got to look at that. Now, as it pertains to Joel Embiid, obviously he's going up against Chicago. It'll be interesting, but I trust him for today. I'm going to trust him, and I'm going to go over. This is going to be my second sheet I'm submitting. All right, my second entry. So I went Trey Young over 2 3-pointers, Luka Doncic over 2 3-pointers. I mean, sometimes you got to bet on the superstar, right? If it fails you, so be it. I'll live and die at the superstar's hand. And Joel Embiid, I'm going to go over on his rebounds as well. I'm just feeling good about the superstars today. I don't know. It's Pro Bowl Sunday. Let's see if the superstars show up on Pro Bowl Sunday, or if their mind is elsewhere. All right, we're gonna do one more card for the day. I'm gonna let you guys really chip in on this one. If you guys have any suggestions, any categories you want to look at, like there's so many different things to look at here. You can even go all free throws if you'd like. If you want to do all free throws, you can go all free throws. Some of these players are really aggressive, especially the superstars. They get to the line. So, I mean, some people might feel that might be the route to go, right? If you can go free throws and get those, flame. All right. If you get all 5 selections with the free throws, awesome. We know Luka likes to get to the line, but he's been off lately, so I won't go with him. Karl Towns, we know he's a flopper, been off a little bit lately. Another flopper, my boy Trey. But the numbers are too high on free throws today. I'm not sure I'm making any bets on those. I don't see any low numbers really outside of Tobias Harris, but he's more of a jump shooter than anything. So as you can see, yeah, I guess free throws for the day, not too well. All right. Let's go back to let's see what category. You can do points, rebounds, and assist combination. Now, obviously that excludes any other categories, but that's not a bad one to look at. He said, "Do you think Anthony Edwards will get over 22.5 points against Detroit, Dan?" Anthony Edwards is a very aggressive player. He's going against Detroit. You know what? Let's make that bet. Yes, I say over. Unless he has an off game, it's always a chance. But if I had to give him a percentage, right, I'd say there's a 75% chance Anthony Edwards gets over 22 points. You know, barring any injuries or blowouts, this should happen. So that's a good, you know what? That was a good suggestion. Appreciate that. We're going to steal that one right there for your boy. Now, let's see. In the points category, again, if you guys want to do a card of nothing but role players or mix it up with superstars, that's completely up to you. Me, Trey Young at 27.5, not necessarily a safe pick. Same thing with Luka. I mean, you could always go under, but you know, none of these teams are really defensive juggernauts per se. So both of those players could end up getting it. I'm just not willing to bet on that today. You know, I'm not willing to put the money on the line for that. So let's go. Let's see. Let's go a little bit lower. Now, this guy went off. Cole Anthony went off last game, but he's inconsistent as you can see here. So we're not selecting him either. Let's go a little bit lower. All right, Brandon Ingram going up against Houston at 24 points. If he wasn't struggling, I would have took him just now. I just seen a 5-game stretch he just had. But yeah, he's struggling a little bit. Now let's go with your boy over here. Jalen Green, 14.5. He's a wild card. This is the thing about rookies. It's hard to bet on rookies. You just never know what it is. I'm not gonna lie. Some days these entries are a little bit easier. Today, it seems a little bit harder. What Giannis going up against the Clippers? I kind of like this pick, but let's see what his fantasy is looking like. You know, when I'm in between picking somebody for points or not, I always go back to their fantasy, man, because at the end of the day, fantasy is where it's at, guys. Fantasy is where it's at. If they're not getting you the points, then you have many other ways to win. They can get you the rebounds, the blocks, everything else. So let's go fantasy. Again, this is my favorite category for the same reason. There's multiple chances to win. As long as your player is having a good overall game, it doesn't have to exactly be lethal offensively. So let's go here and see where I don't see him. I don't see our boy Giannis at all. All right. Well, I'm picking up Brandon Ingram simply because, you know, like I said, he's going up against Houston. They don't really play a lot of defense. Fast up tempo. That's a good pick right there. Who else am I picking? Let's see. For some reason, they don't have Giannis in this category. Sometimes the app updates a little bit later, but let's see who else we should pick here. Carl, I can't. It would be a huge disappointment if he doesn't get this. I know it's the second time for me selecting him, but it would really be, and disappointing is an understatement. Okay, so Chicago Bulls are a good defensive team, and I'm a bank on that. I'm going under. This is my first under on a superstar like Joel. Now, we know he's a beast and he can get that in his sleep. However, the Bulls are a very good defensive team. They have some good inside presence. I mean, nothing major, you know. Vucevic is not really a rim protector, but they're pesky. You know, they're going to dive down on the ball and they're going to try to get the strip on Joel. Hopefully, you know, he doesn't go over there. But this is the first time I've been against the superstar for the day. Now, Kyrie is the biggest wild card for me because he hasn't been anywhere near his fantasy score the last couple games. Well, watch this be the game when he goes over. All right, but I'm willing to bet against him as well. Simply because, like I said, James Harden handles the rock a lot. He will have to get on fire, which he can. But I feel it. Trust your gut, right? That's what I said in the beginning of the video. Anyways, that's going to be the final card selection for me right there. So I went Anthony Edwards. My boy suggested it. We're going to go over on that because I think he can get that over Detroit. Brandon Ingram, you know, BI. He's somebody who He fills up the stat sheet. He's their go-to. He's going up against Houston. They don't play a lot of defense, so I hope he can get that. I didn't make my Anthony Towns selection, but I'm going over again. This is the second time I pick him over. I think that's probably the safest bet of the day, Carl Towns. Barring any injuries or blowouts, he should get that. And so we're going to submit our final entry, man. And there you have it. That's my final entry. Now, obviously, let's see. You can always go back and look at your entry. So let's just review it really quick. As you can see, I've won 28 times, so I'm doing something right. Right? And I've cashed out already $296. So this is why I want to help y'all win, especially my Laker family out there. So the first card we're looking at, I went Anthony Edwards over 22.5 points, Brandon Ingram over 40, Carl Towns over 44 fantasy score, and Joel Embiid under. I'm going 57 under because it's a high number. He could get 60 or 70, but he has to have a crazy good game. Going up against Chicago, I'm banking on their defense. You got Kyrie Irving. I'm going under just because James Harden is a ball hogging, ball handler. I mean, not really ball hogging. He likes to play make, but he's going to hold the ball the majority of the time. They put Kyrie kind of like at the 2. The next entry, we did Trey Young. I want, I love Trey Young. I trust him. Can he give me 3 3-pointers today? Absolutely. He might get that in the first quarter. I'm going over. Luka Doncic, another one of my favorite players. Got to go over on the superstars today. Kevin Harter, suggestion by my boy in the chat. I went over. Joel Embiid, rebounds. I was on the fence on that one. I'm not going to lie, okay? Because, again, he is going up against Chicago, and they're pesky. But I'm betting on the superstar. Same thing with Carl Towns, betting on the superstar. That's the second card we put in today. And the final card that we put in was Tyrese Maxi. All right. Shout out to Chapito for that one. Great suggestion. We're going to go over on that one. He's somebody who can, he can fill up the box score for sure. You got Nikolai Jokage. I'm going over on that one as well. Come on, man. It's the Joker. And he's going against Brooklyn, extra motivation, right? Carl Towns. Got to go over because his fantasy score is actually really low. Like I said, this is to me is the safest bet of the day. I'd be shocked if you guys don't get it. And then Jeremy Grant, jack of all trades, master of none, over. And then Isaiah Stewart, he's such a low fantasy score, hit or miss with that one. But bottom line, those are my daily prize picks for the day, man. If you guys have any questions, you can hit me up throughout the course of the day. I will be going to the gym right now at 12. So if I don't reply right away, hopefully I helped you with these picks. Your guys' suggestions. Hopefully you guys help me as well. And let's win some money together, baby. This is only episode 1. So keep it locked right here for all things fantasy and much more coming to this channel, man. Rams pregame, postgame. We're going to make the chili recipe before Super Bowl Sunday. I promise I'll drop it this week. And just so much more content, man. So wish you guys the best. If you guys do win, make sure you tag me on Twitter. All right. Make sure you guys let me know you won and the picks either helped. Or if they didn't, I'd love to know. You can always DM me as well, and we can go from there. But thank you guys so much, man. Remember, don't forget, if you haven't signed up, use that promo code DTLF and get 100% match on your first deposit. So thank you guys, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.